Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on our weekly webinar series. A few formatting notes before we begin. We'll be recording this today and we'll send you guys all a link. And we'll also post it in our Help Center so you'll be able to reference it again in the future. If you also have any questions throughout the webinar, we have a chat on the right side. You can submit them and we'll be sure to address them in our Q&A section at the end. Hopefully you've all had a chance to listen in last week where we covered the basics of how to use Signpost as a tool to communicate with your customers, especially during this unprecedented time with COVID-19. If you missed it, however, we do have it posted in our Help Center, so you can listen in whenever you have some time. A quick intro for your host today. My name is Tara. Kelly is also joining me. We're both leaders on the customer success team and have about 7 years combined of Signpost expertise, so you guys are definitely in good hands. We're just going to dive a little bit deeper into what type of messaging to send to your customers during this time. The feedback that we received from last week's webinar was that specific examples were really helpful, so we'll also be showcasing a few of those to kind of get your wheels turning and help you brainstorm some ideas that you can send out. One question that we did receive before this webinar: should we send emails to our customer base at all, given everyone is being bombarded with COVID-19 related emails? I'm sure this is all something that you guys are thinking, so we want to address this first and foremost. Yes, absolutely send your customers emails while they are online, they are at home, they're checking their devices now more than ever. We've seen open rates at an all-time high over the past week or two, so take advantage of this and snag their attention while you can have it. Another thing is, while this may give you a temporary decrease in business, this is a good reason to keep your business name in front of them, because this is temporary. We will get out of this, and when that time comes, we want your business to be relevant to them. So definitely still communicate with them, and Kelly's going to go on a little bit into what to communicate with them.
Hi, everyone. This is Kelly, and since we believe you can and should reach out, the big question is how. So we suggest keeping these 4 items in mind when you're writing your messaging. Number 1, communicate honestly and openly. Keep things on a human level. We're all in this situation together. Make sure that what you are sending out to them is really just honest and open. Next, we want to thank them for their patronage and support. We want to acknowledge that because people are doing a lot to try to keep their local businesses open through this time. We want to empathize with their situations. Everybody is going through a sort of a tough time at this point, and we want to keep that in mind. And most of all, I think we want to prioritize clear and concise messaging. We need to keep things very clear, very quick to get into their inboxes so that people can read these things and get the message through. Now, what we're going to be going over today is actually creating campaigns. Whether this is a refresher for you or something new, we want to make sure that we walk through this and give you a lot of ideas. So we're going to be focusing within the campaigns tab in your system. From the campaigns tab, you'll click create new and you will see this screen shown here. This is where you will fill in the blanks for your campaign. The subject and headline will set the tone for your message, and you'll see that they are limited to 45 characters to make sure they display properly on different devices. When we get to the body, use that basic who, what, when, where, why, and how to focus your message and keep it clear and concise. We do suggest adding an image, although it's optional. If you're having any trouble finding an image for your message, go ahead and chat us, and we'll give you some help there. These next steps will help guide the recipients of your email to take action. Whether you want them to call you for more information or visit your website to schedule or make a purchase, follow the steps here on the screen to better control and track how they interact with your messages. Now, we actually have a very exciting announcement for today. What you're seeing here is a new feature. We just released it last night, and it is called the Content Library for Offers. Sorry, I believe I lost my, there we go. Sorry about that. The Content Library for Offers, we have curated a collection of pre-written campaigns specifically created for different industries to help with what we call the 3 E's: engagement, efficiency, and effectiveness. We focused on these 3 E's when creating this feature because we want to help you stay in touch with your clients, which now is more important than ever. We want to create targeted campaigns in less time and do the work for you by providing examples that we've seen actually work for your industry. To create an offer, you'll go to the Campaigns tab and click Create New, like we talked about before. You'll see this new screen to either start from scratch or use one of our templates. When using a template, the campaign creation fields will open up with the pre-filled content, so you have the opportunity to make adjustments to them. You'll then go through the typical creation steps, designating who you'd like to send it to and when, and then you can preview and send out your campaign. This feature was created based on your feedback, so we encourage you to take a look at these, use them, adjust them to your needs at this time, and give us feedback. When you're logged in, go ahead and click to chat with us. Let us know what you think after getting your hands on this content. We're really excited about it.
So hopefully the content library is going to help you guys out and make thinking of campaigns a lot easier, but we did get the question of what are customers doing that is working right now. So in case you can't find what you're looking for in the content library, you want to start from scratch. We divided up the types of messaging into 8 categories. We touched on these last week too, but we're going to do a deep dive into each of them and provide an example. That way you guys can get some real-time examples that we've seen going out to potentially build for your own. So the first up is informational updates. So again, this is pretty broad category, but it could be a change to your hours of operation. Maybe the services you offer have changed. You have a different payment plan going. These are pretty typical with everything that's happening with COVID-19. So the example that we provided is a local winery. They adjusted their hours. They mentioned the current services they're offering. And what I really like the most here is that at the bottom, they acknowledged everything that's happening with coronavirus. They put a reassuring message in from their business. This is very personal. And like Kelly had said earlier, you really want to humanize these emails. This is why we work with small businesses, is because we have, business owners like yourselves that we can communicate with open and honestly. The other note with this one, if you could just jump back real quick, Kelly, sorry to make you click around. Maybe.
Sorry, it's not letting me jump back.
Hang tight with us 1 second, guys. We do work in tech, but we also have tech issues that pop up. There we go. Okay, so the only other thing that I wanted to point out on this one was the visit our website button. This is that call to action button earlier that Kelly was telling you is so important. This is what drives external traffic to your pages online. Now you probably have less online traffic than usual just because you don't have as many visitors to your website. So I like that the winery plugged in their website here just in case people want to look up anything else about their business. So keep that in mind. That's always a really good fallback, is to visit the website for the call to action button. And then the next example is new or other services. We've obviously seen a lot of these too with everything that's happening right now. The example we provided is a print store. They adjusted their business model to curbside pickup. This has been very, very popular with our clients lately. If you have the infrastructure to do so in your business model, I'd really encourage you giving it a try. This email covers the what and the how that Kelly was talking about earlier. So it's very succinct and clear cut. The what is that they're now offering curbside pickup. The how is that you email the store with what you want to print out. The call to action button on this one I thought was also very creative. It can boost their Facebook followers. That way people can get more up-to-date information about their business. They can see any relevant posts that they're posting. So keep that in mind, that it doesn't always necessarily need to be your website or something like that. It could be something to increase your followers on other pages and other platforms.
Next up, what you'll see is virtual events. These 2 examples are virtual classes that we've seen offered from our clients. First off, a lot of fitness businesses have been able to pivot and provide workouts online for their members to do at home or outdoors. One thing to point out in particular is the Get Moving call to action button on this fitness email at the bottom. This is a great use of this button to drive people to online content. We've also seen tutoring or online education take off at this time as a safe alternative to classroom learning. This example here is for local partnerships. These have been popping up more and more this week. I personally love to see everyone banding together to support their communities in so many different ways, and this sample is a great example. This shows a print shop selling t-shirts and donating part of the proceeds to a local restaurant relief fund to raise money for those out of work due to COVID-19 closures. And next up, a big one is online shopping. This is taking off on many different forums to help businesses adapt these days. Many businesses have been promoting online purchase and shipping options, online gift card sales, and online purchases to accompany curbside services to keep everything touch-free. We have some partners and solutions available. If you're interested in beginning to offer online shopping options, please go ahead, log into your account and chat us for more details. If you're already using softwares like Square or PayPal, they provide some great e-commerce tools for you to incorporate into your campaigns.
So similar to online scheduling, we would also, or online shopping, we would also recommend switching over to an online scheduling model if you have the ability to do so. If you're getting one soon or you already have one, use the campaigns as a tool to promote more online bookings. This is just going to secure future revenue for your business. So for this example, the business is temporarily closed, which we've seen quite a bit of in certain verticals, but bookings are always available in advance through their website. It's a very concise message. It leads their customers directly to their online booking system through that call to action button. So it's just a very easy step for their customer to follow. One note too, when you're using online scheduling systems, there are typically direct links to your online scheduling system that decreases the steps for the buyer to take to actually check out. The more steps that they have to take to complete the transaction and give you their money, the more time they have to change their mind. So make sure you make this as direct as possible. And if you do have a direct link on hand, instead of like a generic link to your website, use one of those instead. So that's just something to note if you do have an online scheduling system. And then we also have cashless payments, kind of goes hand in hand with online shopping and online scheduling. These are highly promoted right now to keep everyone healthy. If you don't already have a payment processor, we do have a partner on hand that we can help you get set up with. Chat in if you're interested, like Kelly had mentioned earlier. For this example, the business is promoting an online auction, and they specifically mention in that blue box in there to pay with a credit card if possible. So just reducing the amount of cash that's being passed from hand to hand during the pandemic is always a great idea. And then one more payment related one, prepaid gift cards. This is probably the most revenue driven campaign that we've seen success with in this climate from our customers. I love this example, just like Kelly loved her local partnership one too. It's really great to see everybody banding together. But in this instance, the business was donating the proceeds from purchasing gift cards for all of April to a local hospital in their area for healthcare workers to have supplies. It secures future revenue. It leaves a lot of goodwill with their customers. So it's really a win-win.
All right, a few final notes after looking at those examples. When you are ready to start creating your campaigns, here are our top tips. First, try sending on a Tuesday or Thursday if possible. Those are typically days with the highest open rates. We want to capitalize the text in our subject line, keep things looking clean and easy to read. We want to stay away from excessive punctuation or emojis. This could get your email sent to spam by accident, or just there might be emojis that somebody's device doesn't support, so your message won't get across the way you want it to. Keeping the body brief, we want to make sure we keep those messages very clear, as short as possible, with the point driven. Next, we want to encourage engagement with that call to action button we've been talking about. This is one of the best ways to get people directly where you want them, whether it's straight on a website link, right on a page where they can schedule or purchase, or even clicking to call right away to get to you. And lastly, there is a part of our campaign creation called reminder emails. With the, everything changing so rapidly with the COVID-19 situation, when you're creating your campaigns, you might want to think twice about whether or not you want to put a reminder email in there, because in a couple of days, what you're writing about could change. So definitely take another second to think about whether you want to send a reminder for your campaigns as you're creating them. We'd like to open it up for some questions. If you can open up your chat bubble, if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in there and we'll go ahead and take a look. There was one question submitted ahead of time asking about our texting capabilities. We do have the ability to have people opt in for texting, and all of our automated messages and some custom ones will go out to the people who have opted into your text messaging program. It is one of our more complex features, so we encourage you to, again, log in, click the chat button, and talk to someone on our support team so that we can give you more specific support in setting up that feature if you'd like to. Not seeing anything in the chat bubble. Anyone want to call out any questions? All right, if not, please go ahead and log in, chat our support team. We'll make sure that we can get anything answered that you may have after going over the campaign creation in this webinar.
Maybe we just did such a good job, they don't have questions.
I hope so.
Yep. If you want to skip over to the next slide, in case anything does pop up after we get off this webinar, if you didn't see any examples that may be relevant to your business, our customer success team is here to help spitball ideas with you and help you create content. It is so critical that you get messaging out during this time. So definitely let us know. Here are the ways you can get in touch with us. The most efficient method is to log into your account and click on the chat bubble in the bottom right hand of your dashboard. We have people standing by to answer chat at all times during normal business hours, of course, and that is going to be the quickest way to get an answer. If you need additional support, we can also always have an account manager reach out to you over the phone after you chat in if it's going to be something that takes a little bit longer to explain. Like other businesses, our support team has seen a huge influx lately, so we are available by email and phone listed out at the bottom, but we do have about a 24 to 48 hour turnaround time right now, if not a little bit more. We would love to help you guys all out. Obviously, our support team is kind of limited at the time, but we will get to your question. It may just take us a little bit longer than normal, so have some patience with us. We would really appreciate it. And then finally, the Help Center is always available to you in your account if you can log in. On the upper right-hand corner, there's that Help Center bubble. We post information about our new products, new features we add in, or any FAQs that you may have, questions that we get a lot from our end that we feel like we could help you out with. Along with creating campaigns, there's an article specific to best practices with campaigns. So if you want to pop in there and self-serve, definitely feel free to do some independent research. We'll keep standing by for you guys and any questions that you have, but we really appreciate you guys joining us today. As a reminder, this will be sent out to your inbox and it will be posted in our Help Center again, so you can always revisit it. And also feel free to share with any business owners in your network if you know they also need help with marketing or they're struggling. We want our resources to help as many people as possible, whether you're customers or not. So we will stand by and wait for you guys if you have anything else for us. If not, everyone stay safe and enjoy your weekend.
Thanks, everyone.